in a world filled with tabletop roleplay games.
I'm gonna hand her a big, juicy onion. It's good for health.
Bounce, 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 bounce. You won't have cat for dinner.
Pride, get up. We're moving.
And now the fire has an initiative.
Power Word Crit is an actual play RPG podcast with plenty of puns, pigeon bears, and plucky personalities. We are a podcast focused on having fun, crisp audio, clean content, and trying out all sorts of systems, including 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons, Monster of the Week, and many more to come. Check us out and be involved in our adventures. Whether you're looking for a high fantasy romp or a paranormal investigation, we've got you covered. Find Power Word Crit at powerwordcrit.com, YouTube, or all major podcast platforms.
You are listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard.
Welcome, Tomies, to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. I am DM Dave, and to the left I have...
Henley. Boudreaux. Lila Grotha.
Roscoe.
And Fenrir.
All right, Fenrir. Tell us the recap. What happened last time?
Well, there was a interrogation that happened between Natlin and the archer, Corbin. And he gave a lot of information about Clothdez, about Clothdez maybe not being who Clothdez is, and him kind of being possibly possessed, or maybe it's not him. And then we learned more about the Hidden Hand, about how they had killed Henley's father, and how they have taken over a lot of Keleth and are doing a lot of bad things, not so great things in Keleth, such as like I picture like slavery and work, not paying people fair wages and farming stuff. And then after we learned about that, Fenrir kind of lost it, and he was going to talk to. His intention as he went in to talk to the archer was to possibly let him go, and then they started talking about their chances of success, which were not great, but what were we waiting for? And then he snapped and started beating him up.
The rest of the crew came in and stopped it. So I think we're going to skip to the morning, because I think everybody was in agreement, like you're just going to go to bed, talk about this in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will start off in the morning. You guys tucked in the archer.
Wait, this is important.
Okay.
Did my soup burn?
Probably did, yeah.
Oh.
It probably did.
We ate burned rice and some ham tonight, last night, and same in the morning.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Sets the mood. Eating burnt rice.
Being a little grumpy about it.
Yeah, he's a little,
So how did people sleep last night? Because you had Fenrir's thing happened, Henley's thing happened.
I'm going to roll.
How's everybody's sleep habit? Yes.
I feel like I would have prayed, and you tell me if it matters or not.
Okay.
Would I have felt any peace?
Tell me about your prayer,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll determine on what kind of religion check you can roll.
Deal. Okay. Then let everybody else go first, yeah?
Okay, that's fine.
Henley did not sleep well.
Okay. What about everybody else?
I slept fine once I got to sleep, but I cried myself to sleep.
Roscoe?
I slept well enough to get a full rest, but I didn't sleep well.
Okay, sounds good.
I think Boudreaux would have prayed for everybody.
Okay.
And for comfort and peace and knowing if there was anything he could do to help.
Okay. Thank you.
Fenrir was in and out of meditating and did not. He took the full 8 hours to get 4 hours of meditation.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
That
don't
seems
think
appropriate.
Roscoe would have let Fenrir do a watch last night either. So we all would have picked up that sack. I probably would have done 2 watches.
And you still have Hurla and Keth there.
Yeah,
too.
so I would.
Oh yeah. What?
I would have
They
done.
were just out in the corner. They weren't bit because
They don't care.
Keth is still seriously hurt.
Right.
He's still really hurt. So they didn't do much moving.
Herla was nursing Kath back to health.
Yeah. Food was
She was
shared.
watching over her.
Burnt rice
I would have
everywhere.
probably put Hurla on a watch then, and then split it up between me, Henley, Lila, and Hurla, since Boudreaux would have just slept through it anyway.
Okay. And very similar to everybody's when you took your hit dice and you felt that burning sensation and your heals and your health come back, you guys wake up perfectly healthy. Like there's not a scratch on you, there's no bruises, there's no scarring. You are completely 100% back to full health.
Maybe not emotionally, but physically.
That's a different HP.
Emotional damage.
Look, there's a lot that's happened the last day, okay?
But Keth is not. He is not full health.
Can I do any medicine on him?
You could do some more spells, healing spells on him, because you're full spell slots now.
Yeah, which is probably worth it. Let's do that.
Okay.
How did I
You
sleep,
just
though?
you just let me know how much health he gets back. 'Cause I believe you guys still have health potions as well. How many? I don't know. that's your guys' check.
Henley still has one.
'Cause I know you guys found quite a bit. Okay, you guys are up, kind of lazily getting things going. You did hear a lot of commotion coming from down the hall, and as you guys peeked out, you do see Natlin and her crew leaving. Early
Is
in the
Oscar
morning.
with them?
Oscar is with them.
Is Oscar tied up?
No, he is not tied up.
Cool. Then I'm okay with him leaving.
I'll do cure wounds. I think I've gone over this spell, or do I need to do spell time?
No, just tell me how much health he gets
Okay.
from that,
I'll let you know.
just so I can keep track of it. What do you guys do? Do you guys feel like talking, or kind of just let's head down to the miners?
Henley doesn't feel like talking.
I'm gonna let the health go first.
Okay.
She just seemed really excited over there.
Ooh, so
Kath is healed 7 hit points.
plus 13.
Oh, you
did
healed
you-
him too?
I'm gonna give him a cure wounds.
Okay.
And then plus 13 as well from me.
Oh, nice.
I did max.
Very nice. That's 20 HP.
Oh, whoa, there's more. It's 2d8.
Oh.
Oh, just one more.
21.
21. Yeah, that was. He's not quite full health, but that is definitely.
He's invigorated a little bit.
Did he get any health back from the rest? Oh.
He was
not-
probably just sitting there coughing and not really resting too much.
He seems somewhat rested, but he's with the healing. He definitely feels a lot more energy. He could try. He looks like he's fit enough to travel,
And there's
where
nothing,
before he was not.
Yeah, and there's nothing I can do medicine wise.
Not really. You could kind of clean his bandages, but it doesn't really
Doesn't do nothing. That's
give
fine.
him HP. Yeah, it won't give him any HP. You make him more comfortable, but that's about it.
Stop infections.
Yeah,
Well, I do that for sure.
right.
But yeah,
Yeah, you help him change his bandages, keep
Or
him
she
healthy.
sprinkles her holy water on his wounds.
and I'll do that to anybody else too.
Sprinkle
Kinda
the holy
checking
water
wounds.
on us.
And you notice that everybody else, there's no injuries. Like even Fenrir, like he looks perfectly
Bruised
healthy.
knuckles are gone and everything.
Yeah, his knuckles are clean. There's no bruising. He's perfectly healthy. Physically.
Yeah. Quick question, too.
Yes.
Because I came into the room late. I would still know that it was Fenrir, right? I can assume.
You can assume that it was Fenrir.
Okay.
The archer down, Fenrir's hands bloody. You could probably assume that.
The
Just
two
wanted
other
to make
people on
sure.
top of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very obvious.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Okay. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna approach Fenrir.
All right.
I'll walk up to Fenrir and be like, "Hey, buddy. You okay?" "Hello."
Please leave that in there.
No,
He
so I'll
had
walk
a
up to him and be like,
complete revert right back to episode 1.
Back when times were happy.
Right?
so I'll walk up to Fenrir and be like, "You up for a chat?"
Yeah. I mean, we should probably get going. We don't have a lot of time.
"Are you okay?"
As I guess. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what happened. Like
What?
I don't know what happened.
What do you like?
I mean, I remember going in there and trying to help him, like, gonna go talk to Gorman about, like, setting him free and seeing if he'd help us. And he said he wouldn't, and then he started talking to us, and the next thing I know, you and Lila have me on the ground. Like, you've tackled me on the ground, and
Do you
Yeah.
remember what he was saying? Like, was there something that triggered you, or did it just?
I mean, I just remember him talking about how we would, like, we weren't going to succeed. Like how that we have been, we've been getting beat up by, the guards that we did kill. Like the fact that we barely survived that. He's like, there's no way you're going to survive with Clothes the sorcerer, and yeah.
Well,
So
the odds have always been against us,
right.
and we always seem to come out on top, even if it's
True.
barely. So, I think the best we can do is just hope for the best and know that even if we fail in our doings, we're doing it for the right reason. And don't let some punk archer who's just out pushing buttons
Right.
get the best of you.
That's true. Yeah, that's a valid point. I don't know if it was just all the traveling and not sleeping well. Like, I know my meditation did not go well last night.
You know,
Usually it takes me a solid, 3-4 hours and I'm good to go. And yeah, it took me all night to get right.
things haven't exactly been easy for us lately, so I get it. But just let us know if you need anything. And you remember, we got we're in this together, and I mean, I get being overwhelmed and stuff. I just found out that potentially my whole hometown's endangered,
Right.
So
Yeah.
I get the overwhelming stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah. How are you feeling with that?
it's another day in the life of adventuring, I guess.
That is totally the title.
Make sure you add that, I guess.
Yes.
We just gotta. It's all. Seems like it's just one big giant mess, and there's just not enough of us trying to untangle it. But
Right.
every time we think we get one step forward, it feels like we're going 3 steps back. I mean, we just found out that probably the reason that everything is happening here is from some super shady secret organization.
Yeah. I mean, what are we gonna do about that?
I'm gonna do our part and keep trying to help those that we can. I mean, that's what our goal is, right? I mean,
Right.
we've went from saving the Hollow to saving the Hollow and the 2 people who have literally tried overthrowing it.
Right. I like that. Help those that we can.
So, but sometimes that also means helping yourself. So, I mean,
Right.
you need a day off.
Yeah. And maybe we'll just beat up those we can't.
If you need it. Beat up those that deserve it. You need a spa day, Fenrir. Let me know. I'm sure Swindell could work something up for you.
No,
I mean,
what are you talking about? We'll just find some mud. It'll be fine. People pay lots of money for like mud facials.
Boudreaux lived in a spa.
Why do you think he's so like relaxed all the time?
They just, it's a mud day.
Every day.
Anyway.
Don't skip mud day.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely keep that in mind. But for now, we've got things we got to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it helps to focus on others. Sometimes.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Let's go see if we can't free these miners.
Did you get any more information from the archer that was not shared with us? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I remember.
Fair enough. So, okay. Well, I guess if we're ready, if Fenrir, if you're ready, is there burnt rice taken care of?
Yeah, doggone.
Cool. So I
His
guess-
belly's like,
No. Guys didn't mind too much.
He stuffed it in a sock to use it as a beating device.
It's an improvised mall. So while they're having that conversation, I'm just like, I am triple checking my pack to make sure it's good because I know that Roscoe's got it and he's a lot more eloquent than I could ever be anymore. And I am actively avoiding Boudreaux.
Okay. Avoiding him. What are you doing with Thanik and Farja's?
Oh, I'm taking him with me.
Perfect. That's what I needed to know. Okay. You guys start heading down the hall. It's about a 15-20 minute walk down this tunnel. And Fenrir kind of guides you guys down there because he was down there earlier. You get to the spot where Fenrir, you were juggling. And you guys head right down a tunnel that direction. And it's not very far. It's probably about 30 feet down once you turn off kind of the main tunnel area. And you just see this large steel door. It is anchored. You see a lot of like pickaxes and hammers trying to hammer at the edge of the doors, trying to get the door off the rock because this is just solid rock with a steel door built inside. As you guys examine this, you can tell it's very sturdy. But you can tell also that with all the picking and chiseling, it was eventually going to fall. Was eventually going to get knocked down. What would you guys like to do?
Do I remember the name of the individual who used to live in there?
I think you would know him as Melinor.
Mornar? Mm-hmm. So I would knock on the door.
Okay.
Like bang on it. And just say, Mornar! Are you in there?
You hear no answer. No reply.
I'm going to do the secret knock.
There's a secret knock?
There's now. It's knock twice. Knock once. Knock 3 times. Hoot twice like a barn owl. Once like a brown owl.
You get no reply.
Like, guys, it's Roscoe. It's because someone would recognize me, right?
The names, definitely.
Like, we got Roscoe and Lylan Garotha here.
And you hear the door start.
and Henley.
And Henley. You guys start hearing the door open. And there before you stands a dwarf. Lila, Garotha, and Roscoe, you'd be familiar with this dwarf as Thorin.
Oakenshield.
Close. You recognize him as Thorin Steelhammer. He is a very good friend of Dracarys, but he decided to stay up here and help the miners find ore and everything with Melinor, because Melinor is a very grumpy, old dwarf. Like, he is not a social person. He has lived by himself for pretty much his whole life. He is actually one of the main miners that were up here when the Glonquest first opened their mines up here.
Thorin was, or Melinor?
Melinor.
Okay.
So that's how far back he goes. He's been around a long time, and he just made home here and just kept on mining, kept on finding stuff. So he's very familiar with this place. So Thorin kind of was the negotiator, I guess you could say, the one who keeps the peace between Melinor and the miners.
Right.
Because both being dwarves, he was able to talk business with him. But there he is. Thorin stands before you.
What sort of relationship would I have with him? Like, I know who he is, obviously, but because of my relationship with Dracarys, would I, like, not be semi-chummies with him, friendly, or just say, hey, I know who you are?
I think it would be more of, because he always stayed up at the mines,
right.
And you occasionally did the mine trips, but generally you were a guard down there. But you would have heard stories from Dracarys. Your time socializing with Dracarys and stuff, he probably would have told you stories of some of the adventures they've been on.
So I will just reach out my hand and be like, hey.
Oh, where is all the others? What'd you guys do with the bandits?
They went away for now. Thorin, it's nice to see you again.
Guratha, it is a very good thing to see you. Come in. He opens the door farther, and you come into this. It's pretty trashed right now, and it stinks a little bit too, because there really hasn't been anywhere to put waste.
Ew.
And yeah, they've been locked up here for quite a while. The people that you see there, especially, I think everybody would pretty much know some of these people here. You do notice there's quite a few miners there. There's about 6 miners in there, and 3 of the guards that you would recognize. You recognize Greg Newton, who he was the boss. The guard boss that helped transport all the goods from the mines to
he was the
Hayden's
transport team.
Hollow.
Yeah.
You recognize the forest gnome, Tinsy, and she looks pretty beat. But the one you see that's injured the most is Iris. And she's the Dragonborn, and she doesn't show any. She's not awake. She's just resting, but you can tell there's makeshift bandages on her, and she looks pretty worse for wear on her. Some of the miners kind of look the same, but everybody's conscious. They're hungry. It kind of looks like a mess in there.
Boudreaux, can you do anything for Iris?
Yep. I'll go up to her and check her over.
As I scan the people, I am looking for my 2 other dwarves. Do I see them?
You do not see them.
I'm going to ask Thorin what happened, if he knew what happened to them.
He takes a deep breath, and he's like, they are the reason why these miners still live. When these bandits came in here to take over everything, they fought them back, giving us time to barricade ourselves in here. So we owe them our lives.
I'm going to pull out the weapons and just kind of like, not necessarily give them to him, but present them to him.
And he like nods. He knows what the symbolism is. Recognizing that they've fallen. He figured they've fallen, but that was the confirmation. Right, because a dwarf doesn't leave their weapons.
No, dwarf doesn't leave their weapons.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put them, sheath them back up, I guess, because I was carrying them. And then just go see what I can do, and just kind of fill Thorin in kind of on what's going on and what's happening. And
Was there still food left up there in the room? I mean, we didn't take it all, right?
Right, you gathered all the stuff that you could carry in bags, but there's still bigger things like big wheels of cheese and bigger barrels of things.
I think it's best we don't bring the food to them.
Right. Yeah. So no, I'm gonna just let them know that there are no more bandits up this way, and there's a room with fresh food and stuff 23 minutes up the walkway there.
Yeah, they would know. They'd be familiar where the food was stored. Yeah. Okay, you see some of the miners start heading, the ones that are more physically able, they head up and go get some food. Okay, so as you guys are talking and everything, you hear this booming voice. It's like, "Who the blazes opened the door? Everybody knows you should not." Yeah, as the old dwarf starts hacking up.
Makes sense.
"Thorin, did you open the door? Shut that blasted door. You're going to let everybody in. You're going to let that beast in as well." And Thorin, rolls his eyes. He's like, "No, don't worry about it. The bandits are gone. We got some miners going up to get... I don't care. Close the door." And he's just ranting and raving. This old dwarf. He is balding horribly. His beard is almost white. And he's walking around, and he has this, a blacksmith hammer that he's using as a cane.
Oh. I love him.
It's a longer staff, but he's using it as a cane. You can tell that this dwarf is old. And, he's definitely one of those characters of "Get off my grass!" "Shut the door, you're letting all the heat out." Type thing.
Turned to Thorin and I said, "I never thought that I would miss that grumpy old dwarf."
Yes, it's been fun in here locked away with him.
My apologies.
Okay, anything that you guys would like to say or do?
Henley would go around and see if she could, the major wounds would go and cure. So Boudreaux could save some of his spell slots.
Yeah, so Iris seems to be the most injured out of everybody. Everybody else is bruises or the cuts are, healing.
Oh, okay.
But Iris is definitely the one worse for wear.
Would I know Iris?
Yeah.
You would know her. Yeah.
Tell me about Iris.
She's a dragonborn.
I got that.
Yep, she is a red dragonborn.
Yep, she was in my party when we came back from the Ore expedition the last time, so she's pretty familiar with the mines. Has been up there quite a bit.
She is not much of a socializer. She's pretty quiet, mainly because she doesn't speak common very well. She does understand most of it, but speaking it, she struggles with. But she's a loner, pretty much, but she is good in a fight.
That's what I was wondering. So I'm going to give one of my health potions to her.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and get her on her feet here a little bit.
Okay, I need to know how much health is getting pumped into this.
Enough to make her full health and combat ready?
Did Boudreaux heal her?
I don't know. I think I was checking her out while you guys
go ahead and
came over.
There's no reason to do a medicine check because you can tell the bandages on her, not well done, for one. The bandages are pretty much torn off shirts and pants, anything that they could get to stop the bleeding. You can tell there's infection setting in, and she has a fever. She is running hot, which is not strange for a red dragonborn, but she is definitely running hotter than it would be healthy.
But I more or less would kind of know that.
Yes.
With a lizard folk, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So then I will do Cure wounds as well.
Okay, just let me know. And I
Second
know,
spell.
Henley, were you going to do a health spell?
Depends on if she can be revived.
Yeah, she's just not conscious. She's still...
13.
Okay.
12.
Ooh, and 12 off of you. Okay.
And I guess 10 off my health potion when it comes down to the road.
Yeah, because by the time she
Exactly.
wakes up, you could give her that health potion.
And I definitely want to change up her bandages and clean her up.
Perfect.
Henley just assists Boudreaux. Like, if Boudreaux, like, hand me that, hand me
Scalpel.
this. Yeah.
Bandage.
And then he
Holy
randomly
water.
asks for a roll, and you're like, what the heck? And you're like,
Cheese will.
I like that's how, like, the one thing that we keep going back to that he eats right now is just cheese.
I was gonna say if he was doing anything, he would want corn. That just makes more sense.
I don't know that they had corn up there.
I know, but like, yeah, okay. So
One
anyway.
day.
Welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard mid-show break. I'm your host, Rupert Bumpkin, from the Rocky Talkie Gnome Radio Network. First item of business is the 5-star reviews. Remember that Solemn will give you a shout-out and read your review on Solemn's column. Then he will review your review. It's great fun. Second is the Ko-Fi. This is our Patreon merchandise store. You can purchase keychains, coloring pages, and MP3s of our songs. You can also commission to feed the cast, or write a letter to Dear Boudreaux. If you are interested in becoming a patron, there are 3 tiers, each with varying rewards, including a full post show, DM Dave's deep dives, and coloring activity book with exclusive art. Go to ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard. That is Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard, and help us grow. And last but not least, the biggest way you can help us is share us with your friends and family. That is all, folks. Back to the show.
Okay, yeah, she is now conscious, and she takes a deep breath, and she's like, "Oh, what happened?" I think she'll say that in Dragonborn.
I mean, it's a little
Understand
weird, but I
anything.
can understand it.
Right, different dialect.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Henley understands.
Yeah. What happened? Where? And you see the shock, and she like kind of sits up and goes, "Ah! Oh, where?
You should lay back down.
Is everybody safe?"
We gotta turn to someone else.
And she sees Lila and Garotha, and she goes, "Garotha."
Iris?
And you can kind of tell by her look, she's like, "Is everybody okay?" Like that, body language wise.
Henley will
She's
also
trying to
say,
communicate.
she's wondering if everyone's okay.
For now, everybody is fine. Thanik and Farja are not with us anymore.
And you just see her shocked. And then she just lays back down and closes her eyes and just shakes her head as tears start falling down.
Boudreaux just sits, like, not really with her or next to her, really, but just there with her.
And in the background, you hear Thorin and Melinor just arguing about something in Dwarvish. It's pretty much is talking about
Closing the dang door.
Closing the dang door. Forget the miners that are out there. They're lost for wear. You're going to let that creature in here, and we can't have that. And just berating everybody. He's like, we should just kick them all out. We were just fine.
So I know he mentioned it earlier in common, the creature, right?
Yes.
I want to ask about said creature and what creature he's referencing.
Okay. So you interrupt their conversation, and Melinor turns to you, and you can just see Thanik kind of like roll his eyes. Kind of like a, oh no, here we go again.
Oops, I did it again.
Thorin
Okay.
rolls his eyes.
Too many T names.
Thank you. And Morinor gets down to your level, and he's just giving you kind of very rough looking.
How much taller is he than me?
He's
probably
old.
old.
Hunched over. He's probably about 4 feet tall because he is pretty hunched. But he's more like leaning over more and just staring at you. What is his voice again? Sorry, folks. Trying to remember what he sounded like.
It's fine. He's been down here for a while. Something's happened.
He talks to himself in different
Dialects.
dialects of common. It's fine.
There's a creature down here. He's about 6 feet tall, hunched over. He has pale purple skin, long clawed fingers, and one large green eye. Fleshy spikes cover his back, and his skin is rough, almost scale-like. I'm not sure what it is, but I have scared it off several times. Don't attack it, though. I did once. I hit him with one of my hammers for snooping around. He snuck in one of my crevices in my walls. But as I hit it, it took one look at me, and I froze in my place. I couldn't move, and it approached me. Its breath smelled of sulfur. It made a mess of my place, throwing all my equipment everywhere, destroying my forge. But before it left, it turned and looked at me, and I heard this gravelly, hoarse voice. Ugh, I still hear it in my nightmares at night. I didn't understand it, but I knew it was a threat. After it had left, I gained control of my limbs, and I built a wall and fastened every crack and nook in this place to keep that foul creature out. I don't know what it was, but it is foul.
Did you ever think about poking it in the eye?
I'm not touching that thing.
Everything
Did you not just hear the story?
How did you scare it away?
I threw a hammer at it.
But you were frozen.
Before, I was frozen. I threw the hammer, he got mad, it got mad, and then froze me.
Why didn't it eat you?
I don't know. I personally don't care. I just know it's not getting back in here.
I do care, because it may not be the monster you think it is, as recent encounters with monsters have shown me.
Hashtag Emery.
What are you talking about?
I encountered a creature recently that I thought was a monster and ended up not being a monster but could look like a monster. And it was a very friendly monster. And in fact, I was the monster for chasing the monster.
He's just looking at you like a blank face. He's like,
It was not a big purple dinosaur either.
I don't know what you're talking about, but this creature, it has evil intent, I assure you.
Everything in this cave seems to have evil intent.
You see Thorin put his hand on Morinor's shoulder, and he's like, that creature has not caused us any issues. It doesn't mean he won't. Yes, you're right, but that's not the only creature down here. I haven't seen any issues with that and other creatures, so I don't think it is a threat.
Have you ever considered that you're in the creature's home?
I was here the whole time. I've been here for over 200 years.
And have you delved deeper into the mines?
Oh, there are secrets here. Dark secrets. Many buildings left underneath these rocks. Though there are very much dangers down there as well. So you have to be careful of where you travel. There was once an Azer down here. And all the secrets that I could have gotten from him. If those blasted and looking at Thorin, adventurers wouldn't have scared it off.
That darn cat. Scary monster or just a creature?
I think it's some creature that's been down here. Like Melinor said, there are a lot of secrets down here. There are ancient buildings that were built under here. I don't know from who or from what, but they're ruins. And there's many, many secrets down here. And I believe there are many secrets that should remain that way.
I agree. I'm going to look back to Melinor as a light bulb just went off in Roscoe's head.
Light bulb.
Light bulb. Did the creature seem like it could understand what you were saying?
It understood when my hammer was thrown at it.
Fair enough.
I love him.
Did you say any words to said creature?
I said lots of words.
Did it seem like it understood the words?
None of them are
I
family
don't-
friendly.
I didn't understand his language, so I assume he doesn't understand mine.
Roscoe, do you know this creature?
I don't know this creature, but Roscoe's just doing what Roscoe does and thinking outside the box.
You see a miner approach. He's like, and that is not the only creature down here. We have seen other ones. There's these fish-like people and mushrooms down here, and they took our dead,
I heard about that.
and they're probably gnawing on their bones right now.
Yeah, probably. Unfortunately.
You should hunt them down and kill them for that.
We have bigger fish to fry right now.
They're fish. You can go fry them.
You've been down here a long time.
Do you need to see some sunlight, get some vitamin D, some fresh air? Have you had too many of those mushroom men?
We've been down here for weeks. It is probably good to get out of here.
If
I
you
can't
want.
stand being in this cave 1 minute longer.
Yeah, I'll take you to the door if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah, what can we take out with you, him?
I got nothing here.
What about everybody else? Anybody need help? Huh?
You see quite a few people like nodding like they're ready. You know, like about half the miners, so about 3 of them headed down to get some food. The rest of them were still staying there. But if you're willing to escort them, I think everybody's willing to go.
All right. Everybody grab whatever you need. Let's go. This place stinks, man.
I'm stop Thorin before he leaves.
Thorin wasn't necessarily going to go with them.
Okay, cool. And I'm going to say, Thorin,
Yes.
I've heard of your exploits
hmm
and your adventures. We could really use some extra muscle.
How so?
We're going to fight a potential sorcerer and a guy that's not the guy he says he is, and save the 2 people who are trying to overthrow the city.
Oh,
Also, scary scarecrows.
and Belrin and Rochelle.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we're going to save Bellerin and Rochelle.
They have been captured.
They have been captured, and as far as we know, they're alive. But we could really use another combat-worthy person.
Yeah, I'm willing to go
Great.
for the hollow.
For the Hollow. We're thinking about rebranding.
Okay. So what's your plan? What's the start? What has happened to the hollow?
Okay, so recap.
Bleh.
Yeah.
Montage. And I'm going to word vomit everything
Yes.
that's kind of gone on. I'm going to pull out the magic card. I'm going to show them the map, tell them the time frame.
Hold on. I want you to actually do this. I want it in all Winnie fashion over here.
Okay, hold on.
Take a drink.
you might want to sit down for a minute.
Wait,
Okay.
a second. Don't sit down. You don't know why you should sit in.
Really?
Good point. Okay. Last time when we had met, last time we had been here, we were leaving the Hollow. And we got sidetracked on our way to Avalon, but ended up in Avalon to try and save the Hollow from Mendrick, in which we ended up causing probably more harm than good, but we saved it from Mendrick to another dwarf guy who's going to buy the mines. And then as we were leaving Avalon, we got a letter saying Mendrick's wife showed up and said, hey, they're going to kill Mendrick. And we're like, who? And he's like, Marlowe. And I'm like, oh, great, another M name. So we hopped on some eagles and we flew out here and we came across some zombies and kind of worked our way through there, and that was sketch. Then we met up to bounty hunters who chased us earlier. Were trying to capture us earlier in the story, and we teamed up with them a little bit, and we went into the Hollow by a secret passage, which nobody's supposed to know about, so I'm not going to tell you about. And we met with Juna.
Yep.
Yes, I got one right. We met with Juna, and she told us that everyone had been kidnapped and that you guys were trapped up here and that we had to come up and rescue you. So we came up to rescue you guys and rescue them, and there was a big...
Bandits were terrorizing the Hollow.
And some bandits were terrorizing the Hollow, and there were some bad guys up here, and we kind of beat the crap out of them while they simultaneously beat the crap out of us. And then we convinced the bandits outside your door to actually help us because they were friends with Marlowe, who's going to be backstabbed by Cloth Dez, who isn't actually Cloth Dez and is potentially working with the sorcerer, who's working with some other bad people who are working with even worse people. And so we're about 4 days from there to go save them. And the more muscle we have to go in there and beat up some people,
Before day 7.
the better off we're going to be.
Well, I'm game.
Do you have a weapon?
I sure do.
Great.
If you don't, I
That
have
was really
two
good.
dead
So
dwarves.
That was excellent.
I am curious because on this map of yours, if you haven't noticed, it seems like there is kind of 2 directions you could go. There seems like you could go down further, going out of where we're at now, and continue on that main tunnel, going deeper, which seems to be your longest route. But there is also this shorter one that seems, I don't know what's going on with your map there, but it seems to be more fuzzy. But it does seem to be a more direct route.
Is that the front door one, right? Or is that a different route entirely?
It's actually the one that comes out one of these main entrances that he kind of looks back at Morinor. You see Morinor kind of, it's through one of his holes that's blocked.
I wonder if that's why it's fuzzy.
And
that's why we haven't considered taking it, is because it's not
It's the fish people.
highlighted by Google.
No, it's Oogle.
No, it's redirected by Google.
Yeah, there you go. Oogle.
it is very possible, but I know that there are magic down there, and that could possibly affect maybe this magic thing too.
Define magic. Like, what do you mean?
Anything and everything between.
Great.
I know that there are stone creatures down there that will attack you on sight. I know that there are shadows in the shadows that if they snag you, they can take your life, and you could possibly become one of them. It is more dangerous, but according to your little map here, it would probably cut our time in half.
Would put us at 2 days. But the problem is,
It is more dangerous.
it is more dangerous. So it would probably still be beneficial to take the safer, longer route.
Which I would advise.
I like magic as long as it's on my side, but this does not sound like it's on my side. So
And I've been down there personally, and it is not a fun place. I'm glad we are avoiding that.
cool.
So, when do we go on our little excursion?
Soon,
No.
we need to make sure that
Is there anybody else who wants to join us?
everybody else is out the door with you already.
Oh, okay.
We could ask Iris.
I was going
She's still
to
there.
ask Iris.
Iris is still down, yeah.
Yeah. If we can get her back up to full health. If she would like to participate in this endeavor as well. And maybe if she needs a weapon, Grotha could let her use one of the ones from the comrades that have fallen.
So Boudreaux's gone right now. So Henley, you would need to translate this for him. So you translate that for him, and she responds in, "I don't have the strength. Even if I had
Health potion?
even at full health, I don't think I'd be much help.
2 health potions.
I don't have much fight in me anymore."
That is understandable. I'm assuming you're relaying said.
I am
You're
translating.
doing a great job.
So good.
It's like word for word almost.
Yeah, impressive.
Dragonborn Draconic is a lot easier than Lizardborn Draconic.
Is she well enough at this point she can walk? Like,
She is well enough to.
I'd like to get
She
her
is well enough to walk
out
yes.
of the caves if possible, but I can't just like carry her everywhere, so couldn't anyway. She's a dragonborn and I'm a halfling, but
She got like 35 health, so she's
okay.
she's okay.
She's just not fighting anymore.
Just the emotion, yeah. She's just not there.
Once again, emotional damage.
Okay, so is that the plan? Is trying to get everybody out of the cave then? Boudreaux's already taken pretty much everybody. The 2 left guards that were left over there, they went with you as well.
This is probably for the best so that they had a little bit of protection going down the mountain or whatever.
Yeah, they might need that.
As much as I would like to have 2 more people. Thorin will work.
Yeah, so Greg and Tinsy, who is a forest gnome, they both went with you as well, Boudreaux.
Did Tinsy still give me a weird look?
She's always like,
She just got a weird look.
No, she's given me a weird look before.
she has, because you've explained your story to her, like I'm a half. And she's always been trying to get who your family is. But I think I remember that you weren't.
I
Didn't
didn't
give her
I
Lila's
just didn't
last
tell
name?
her what my last name was.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
always been trying to get to know. She's like, maybe I know him. Maybe I know him. Tell me. But yeah, nothing ever come from it.
Okay. With Iris, when she gets to the point where she's getting up and getting out, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with Thorin, and I'm going to present the weapons, Thenic and Fresh's weapons to her, but I'm just going to offer them to her. It's like, I know you don't have any fight. I know you don't want to, but they'd want you to have at least one of them.
And she takes a deep breath. And she reaches out and she grabs the crossbow.
So Farja's.
Yeah, Farja's crossbow, her large crossbow. And you can see her, like, she just kind of cuddles it.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like it was an infant, you know. And she nods and continues walking. Because like you, the 2 dwarves accepted her. They kind of adopted her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Took care of her and stuff. When you got here, when Lila Garotha got here, Iris was already with those 2. And so you know that they had a great relationship as well.
And I'm going to pretend I'm not crying
Okay.
and say, okay, well, we need to leave as soon as Boudreaux's back.
Boudreaux.
I leave the hollow. Just kidding.
Just keep going, guys.
I'm done. Yes.
This is my new family now.
Yeah, so he takes him outside the cave, and he just like relaxes in the sun, just like immediately just wants to like stretch out. It just put its arms out, and he just kind of smiles at the sun, and then he looks at everybody else, and like, "Are you guys gonna be okay getting down the mountain?"
Well, is it safe to go down?
I mean, we didn't run well. As long as you're careful, I think.
Is there more of those bandits around? Because if there's more of those bandits, there's no reason for us to leave here, just to be caught out in the open.
Hey, Fenny!
Are you gonna stay with us?
Did Benny go?
Yes,
Are you there or what?
I am now.
I have been summoned. He's like,
Hey, Fenny.
you called?
It's the Fen here.
Fen here. Fen here, Fen there, Fen everywhere. Okay. Do you think they're gonna be safe going down the mountain? Is it gonna raise suspicion? Are they gonna be okay?
I mean, it will definitely arise suspicion.
Bro.
But if
I mean,
disguise themselves as more refugees that are going into town, that might be it. I mean, they smell like that.
Yeah, they kind of look like that too. I didn't go to Birdie though. I mean, there is plenty of food up here. So, I mean, they could stay for a while. Should we go out right go?
What do you mean it's back to ask him a question?
Yeah. You know, I think we need to carry on.
Yeah.
Get back and keep moving. We don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
You're just gonna leave us?
What, you got the 2 guard here. You feel good, eh?
These 2 guards? Yeah, but they're not gonna take out the bandits. They took out the bandits when there was 5 of them, 6 of them.
You said they did.
Look,
so you're good, right?
If you go this way,
the bandits took them out.
Oh.
We lost 2 of them, and honestly, the 2 best ones. And now you're just gonna leave us here?
Do you want to go back?
Not without you guys. I mean, if you guys took out all the bandits,
do you want to go back behind the steel door?
I mean, it's better than being out in the open here.
Okay, we'll come back for you then.
Look, we got stuff to do. Like, there's more people to save the Hollow, or you're never gonna have a home again, and that's kind of why we're here. So, like, if you really want to, you could come with us if you really want, or you could stay here, or you could go down.
Well, where are you guys going?
We're going deeper. And
deeper?
Yeah, I'm not excited.
I'll stay with that grumpy old dwarf. I'm not going any deeper.
Yeah. Well, they was not working with you. There's some there's more cheese in there. So yeah. I'm gonna go bite. Come on, man.
So there was a few of them that came out, but a lot of them went back into the room with all the supplies. And you hear somebody else come out and be like, "What's up with the guy tied up?"
Oh, you just feed him cheese now and then. He'll be okay.
Okay.
Keep him tied up till we get back.
He looks pretty bad.
You can let him go if you want.
He might kill you, though.
Yeah, we'll leave him tied up.
Smart.
Oh, and I highly recommend asking him all about his life story. He got so much to tell you.
Well, maybe we'll ask him when the swelling goes down.
But also, his favorite shape of cheese is when you carve it into a fish. That right?
That person just turns around and walks away.
Fenrir's going to follow him.
Okay.
He's going to go back to the archer.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm following Fenrir. And I said that before he said that, just so you know.
Okay, you enter the room with the archer.
I'm really close to Fenrir.
And you see him, like, he's pretty swollen. One of his eyes is all the way closed. And the other one's, like, just barely peeking out.
He walks up to him and he uses Cure Wounds.
Okay, you see some of that healing go down.
I almost
Some of the swelling.
Swelling, thank you. Mm-hmm. Some of the healing go down. Some of the swelling go down.
I'm, like, ready to grab Fenrir. And so when he goes down to, like, heal him, I'm like, I almost stop him, but then I don't.
Okay.
And he's going to go up and be like, "I'm sorry." And then he's going to turn around and walk out the other door.
Okay. He doesn't say anything in response.
I walk out with Fenrir.
Okay. So you guys are heading back down. Everybody's together now. And
Is the steel door shut?
there was attempts shutting the door since everybody left. But Thorin's like, no, we're not shutting the door. There's still people. We don't know what's going on yet. There's that whole conversation. So now everybody's back, and I think that's a good time to close out this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. We are getting ready to go on a little adventure. So excited for this. I've been waiting for this.
Dig a ton, a dig a ton.
Waiting for this for a long time. Things are starting to come together, and I'm super excited. Thank you guys for listening. Big shout out to D.A. Nichols for writing our theme song and our music and other songs that we have here. If you are looking for a new TTRPG to play, go check out her Shields of Power, and that is at drivethrurpg.com. Also, another shout out and thanks to Realm Walker, Monument Studios, freesound.org, and Tabletop Audio for our additional sounds and music. I am DM Dave, and to the right I have
Fenrir.
Roscoe.
Garoth and Lila.
Boudreaux. And Henley.
And until next time, we unroll the scroll to tell the tale.
Bye.
Oh, and for the record, while we're distracted, I killed that mosquito.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Now it'll become a spider later.
Right, yeah.
Who
Like,
death bless.
Oh.
Blooper. Beep.
Buffering.
And maybe, are you standing next to me or are you just whispering to me as my wife?
No, I'm just whispering to you as your wife. I'm over by Iris.
Okay.